Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another Backpedal recap video from the Racing League. We have a special guest this evening. Charlie did ask what this video is all about. Basically, each week, every Tuesday, there's a Zwift Racing League, and majority of you guys watching are racing as part of the Backpedal racing team. So they send in the race recaps, and I put together a video, and they just, well, they try to catch me out basically with stuff because I read the recaps out. Like last week, I said the A word.
The A word.
Alexa. That was the A word, and it triggered Alexa, so I had to. Sorry, by the way, if your Alexa just went off. This recap's going to be a bit different this week. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out, a special shout out. Charles, do you want to get involved here?
Yeah.
The real Alan Line. So he sent me a message. He said, "Hey, I was wondering if I could make a request for the Backpedal race recap. My girlfriend's been supporting me a lot during the races, but she's been under the weather a lot recently. And I was wondering if you could give her a shout out on my behalf for all the amazing support she has been giving me during all the races. Her name is Venus."
Hi, Venus.
What a nice name. "And she always watches and loves the streams of me racing for Backpedal." So
Being a supportive girlfriend and unpaid Swanee, basically.
don't complain, you love it really. Okay, so last week's race. So everyone tackled the Richmond Cobbled climb course. I didn't realise how hard this course was until I googled it about 3 hours before the race. I found out that it doesn't take in that flat part of Richmond, it just takes in the climbs, much to my, well, I don't know actually whether I was excited or very nervous about that. Breakaway was highly unlikely to succeed. If anything, the groups were just going to whittle down until only the hard men and women were left. So starting at the top, we have the Racers Without Mercy, who took part in the A League. A-Man sent this in. He said, "Hey Ed, here's my little write-up for the race this week. This week we found ourselves at the Cobbled Climbs course in Richmond for what was widely considered to be the toughest race yet, and the Racers Without Mercy once again well prepared. After just 5k, it was time for the first climb, where the field would know its first split. Just a few minutes later, the boys had to conquer the short and punchy climb on 23rd Street. After the team got split in two, with Ruben, Nick, Tim in the first group, and Simon, Craig and Josh in the second. As every lap went by, the suffering got harder and harder, with more riders dropping back from their group, leaving only Ruben at the front, fighting with the biggest of the big guns, until on lap 4, Libby Hill also got the better of him. All riders played it really smart, sticking with their group, fighting for the best position possible, at which they did a very good job, coming home in 7th place once again, with Ruben and Tim also picking up some good segment points. Truly was an effort to be proud of for the whole team. Everyone played their part, the best of their ability, got the best possible result. The race is now in 6th in the standings, just 2 points ahead of Tretton and 9 points behind Ink Alien v Predator. Great name. Not as good as Backpedal. Look to have an exciting fight in their hands for the remaining 3 stages. France is up next. Baguette. He did actually write Baguette as well, I'm not making that up. Our second of 3 teams in the A Racing Leagues, we have the Amino Acids. Is this the first time you've heard these names as well?
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah, so we have the Racers Without Mercy and we have the Amino Acids. So the Amino Acids are the second team. I didn't vote for these names, by the way. Cobbled Climbs, a race course nobody wanted to do unless you like pain and misery, like our very own, and Wahoo calls, Paul Hamlet, who not only did it once with WLC, but had another bite of the cherry with the Amino Acids. It started off quite easy. We all got into position on our way to Libby Hill, which is never an easy climb, and that's where it split to pieces. We all knew that before it started. Captain Paul and Paul Hamlet got over first, and then Peter climbed his way over, and Piglet, by the way, Paul Hamlet, was off, never to be seen again by us. Then, as we headed up Governor Street, Peter flew off into the group further up the road, and Paul was joined by the rest of the crew. Daniel and Theo, all unfortunately got lightheaded and didn't feel so good, so had to pull out of the race. Rest up, you back soon, bud. And that's how we stayed. Zone 2, then VO2 Max. Whenever a segment appeared, Then towards the end of lap 4, Peter said his group was moving slow and our group was only 30 seconds behind as we moved towards Libby Hill. It was all hands on deck to try and bridge across, which eventually happened. For the start of lap 5, 4 riders in the top 20, Paul coming over the line in 25th. Now the view of the race from one of the resident hitters, Peter Robertson. It all exploded first time at Libby with one of us making the first group, then me, Theo, Daniel in the group behind. I went hard up the next 2 climbs and got over the main group, dropped again up Libby Hill and into the small group where we were picking up stragglers. By the 3rd lap, there were about 12 up the road in the front and a couple of more drops, so our group was racing the top 10 on the road and on the climbs. Theo and Daniel's group was chasing and they got back on the lap to go. Our 3rd group was Southern Ambassadors.
I like that name. They sound, I don't know.
They sound southern, just like us.
They sound like something that involves like
something
porches
important.
and whiskey and things like that.
Richmond is now the unofficial home of the Southern Ambassadors, with the team conquering the cobbled climbs for style and panache. The puncher nature. Puncher! I didn't even, yeah. Puncher nature of the course allowed us to work together, be it bridging gaps or letting a gap grow to a teammate at crucial moments. With 3 riders finishing in the top 10, with the 4th not far behind, we nabbed a big bag of sprint points to finish 2nd on stage, and now our 3-point margin to 3rd, showing just how vital every sprint point was. Big props to Renzo for getting a 2nd place on Libby Hill for a fastest through sector. The team now lies a clear 3rd place overall, closing down the gap to its nearest rival for 2nd place in the series with a 4-point swing. Bring on Paris indeed. Swiftly on to the bees, and we have the Ed wannabes.
Oh.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we have Mick's captain right up here. After extensive analysis of the YouTube channels of Ed, Bike Racing Without Mercy and Com Hunt TV, and not forgetting Bullet Bill, the Ed wannabes were ready for the cobbled climbs of Richmond. 2-minute hill climb records followed by optimised downhill sections, all while showing our best pain faces with a short summary of our pre-race tactics. On the first lap, the Ed wannabes showed their strength by taking 5 out of the 10 first across the line points on Libby Hill and 23rd Street, of which 3 and 2 respectively were top 3. The Norwegian Ragnarok team, who were the leaders in the division, saw the danger and launched a duo attack on Governor Street to start the 2nd lap. The second group of around 20 riders consisted of 5 wannabes, and on 23rd Street the Norwegians were caught again. At the start of the 3rd lap though, they broke away again, but this time Alan jumped on the wheels to control the brake together with the Scottish rider. The rider wasn't really helping Alan, which gave us the quote of the evening: "Beep, Scottish, beep is drilling it." Yeah, good. We don't want to get demonetized before we even get monetized on this channel. After neutralizing this attack, the race got a good rhythm where the Ed wannabes were able to secure many first across the line and first through sector points, and when the final lap started, a group of 7 was left, of which 3 backpedalers, 2 Norwegian riders and 2 riders without teammates. I'm pretty sure as well, there's a link down below, if I remember. If I don't remember, Mick, leave it down below. Your little highlight video. Second B team, the Iced Spice Buns. Get ready. For the Ice Spice Buns, the dreaded cobbled climbs was just another opportunity to come together as a team and enjoy the thrill of competition. The race began as planned with all riders in good position going up Libby Hill, and when the reality bomb exploded along the whole race structure. What followed were just variations on the report by Fraser. Started off well on the first group for Libby Hill. Not sure how I lost the group, to be honest, it just seemed to stretch. I powered up Libby Hill and sat in the group with Gavin, 25th-ish place. Was happy with this group, powered up Libby Hill to try and stretch it and create gaps, but nearly backfired second time round as I was in my own going into the next climb, and I had to push 700 watts just to make sure I kept on the tail of the group coming through. Sadly, I didn't learn my lesson the next time, did the same up Libby Hill, powered off, created gaps, and again ended up on my own, even though I was doing it at 100 watts to let the group catch me before the descent. Same thing took me out going around the corner and I couldn't power up the hill and lost the group. Was solo for the rest of the race, which was hard as you can't super tuck on your own. Couldn't gather enough speed. Good race though, enjoyed it, one of my best performances in terms of endurance position. I'm a bit gutted I didn't get my segment points. I thought I pushed hard enough to get a decent time on Libby Hill 3rd or 4th lap, but obviously not. Fitness is coming back though, so hopefully I'll keep on improving and be better next race. Paul also adds, despite the adversity, all 6 riders finished the race, with Michael Harron finishing while suffering breathing difficulties post-COVID. The results put us in the top half of the event again at 7th, and although the podium places are now unlikely with an 11-point gap to 3rd, the team are already planning practice races for the next challenge on the cobbles in France. Allez! Last team we have here, the Little Commas, who are in the C category. The Little Commas waited for the start of the cobble climbs with trepidation. Mike Box had joined us to kick off his series, adding strength to the team. Out of the blocks, Mike took off with Chris, Dougie, Parky and Paul in hot pursuit. Paul, 26, undertook the trip to Minehead in the week on a quest to seek the Little Commas source of power, the traditional homeland of this peanut butter powered band of riders. I think they're powered by a bit more than peanut butter, to be honest. Inspired by his meetup with Scott, Nat and Bullet, he stretched his FTP to 276, carrying 3.5 watts per kilo for the first 10 minutes. Dougie, 23rd, and Chris, 14th, maintained steady power throughout the race. A great pairing working together to pick off riders one by one as they moved throughout the field. Parky, 28th, our secret climber, was making easy work of the course, dropping people on the hills. Later in the race, with Dougie sharing some pace in between the hills on 2 laps, Tim was fighting for points as usual at the slower end of the field. Then, tragedy, Mike Box in 3rd place on the last lap was working with 2nd place to bring back the leader who had made a break for it. Zwift dropped out and Mike was left stranded out of the game, nowhere to go. A bit like Scott Lang in Ant-Man and the Wasp, yes, well remembered. Tim's course extended to 5 laps and his 47th place was not recorded. Not their fault, but Mike and Tim were both DNF. A great team effort though, with a great bond forming amongst the riders, but a shame not to pick up points we earned. Marco was a great DS, calm and encouraging and providing video evidence to support the Zwift problems. We came 10th to roll, dropping us to 6th place in the league. All is not lost, we are shaping to finish strong in the final few races. Epic! These recaps seem to get longer and longer every week, but fair play to you all. They're amazing, eh?
They're really good.
It's just so many. I think they're just teasing me though. I think they're just trying to get me to read more, because maybe my pronunciation of worms is really good. The overall finishing positions on the night you can see right here. We have the stage results, we have the overall league rankings. Things are looking pretty good, to be honest, even if I do say so myself. They're looking better than my results anyway. And the Backpedal team competition is also looking good. There's a tight fight at the very top, but all to play for, with Surrey Hills looming. Okay, that's gonna wrap up this week's. Thank you so much for watching. Ali's adding to the, she's making me look
In my Toy Story pyjamas and my scruffy jumper.
You're adding a bit of professionalism to the video, so that's like. Plus, I wore this T-shirt. I didn't even know that somebody had mentioned it in the write-up. So I feel like we've owned it this week. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Wish you all the best of luck at Tuesday in Paris. Do a Mark Cavendish, crush it. Don't do an Abdul Japarov. I think I pronounced that wrong. The guy who crashed in the green jersey on the Champs-Elysees. I don't know if you remember that, years ago. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Bye.